I'll take a boy. A boy's fine. Thank you. When you see who you're reading, you'll be the youngest in history. Here we go. We're going to start. I'll read everything in between. Okay. All right. And then okay. So, and I'll move back over to we should move over to the microphone so everyone can hear us. Now you guys can have this scary thing. Okay. Interior hallway day. Melissa and her mother exit the outer office into the hallway. A voice booms from behind them.
We're going our own way.
Melissa's mother turns around and practically faints.
You didn't tell me he was in your meeting.
Oh, you didn't ask me. Reverse angle. Michael Landon with devilish charm. That's you now.
You two do want to leave, don't you?
He walks toward them from the room where Melissa has just auditioned. He is even more handsome in person, and Melissa's mother, starstruck, is stammering.
Oh yes, that sense of direction.
Michael Landon looks at Melissa.
You did a nice job in there, kiddo.
Thank you. They walk down the hallway to the front entrance to the building.
I must tell you, I've always been a fan of yours. We loved Bonanza.
They reach the front entrance door. And this is, I write this, a premonition of things to come. I love the one where you went blind, but she put me to bed in the middle of it. Exterior building day. They emerge and Landon whirls on Melissa's mother.
Yeah.
What did you? What? How could you?
Well, school and
You know, I'm just kidding. I like that show too. You should try to see the other half, though, where I got my sight back.
Melissa is looking at a pristine Jaguar E-Type 12-cylinder car parked along the side of the building. Wow, is that your car?
Yep, you like it?
I love it. Well, thank you for walking us out, Mike.
Anytime, take care.
He smiles and walks to his car. It could have all come to an end right there and then, and my mother and I could have died happy. Michael Landon was positively dreamy. Now see if he can do it. Come on, guys. Okay. So let's see. This is another one. I can read a bit, and then I need a woman volunteer, please. Okay. Well, actually, you might as well do it now because it's not so much.
Yes.
She's got it. I'm starting to reach my time to actually start. Now our guest reader is going to play me, and I'm going to play the other cards. So move on over to the microphone again. Here we go. So this episode it was called the Love of Johnny Johnson, and it was well, it was an interesting episode, a fun episode to shoot, and Johnny Johnson, the character, was also responsible for a major lesson in my acting life. One morning, we were filming one of our many dinner scenes. We always seem to shoot bed scenes and dinner scenes first thing in the morning. This particular morning was great, though, because we were served fish instead of our usual Dinty Moore beef stew. Nothing against Dinty Moore, but if we ate it once, we ate it 100 times. I love this fish. I loved the whole dinner. It wasn't too fattening and it was delicious. I pretended to eat, as we all did for the rehearsals, but really dug in when we shot it. I happily ate my fish, my green beans, and drank my water. Interior Little House night. It is supper time, and the Ingalls clan is sitting around the table enjoying the catch of the day, literally. Bill, our director, says, "And cut it, and print." The actors start to move away from the set to relax between setups, when up runs the small but mighty Mary Yerke, continuity script lady. Missy, may I have you for a moment?"
Sure, maybe.
everything you just ate in that master shot. We are covering the scene in several angles, and it will all need to cut together with that original big master shot. An audible gulp comes from Missy. Let's have a seat, shall we? Camera tracks them to some apple boxes, holding as they sit down. Let's see. Oh yes, here we go. On Carolyn's line, well, I don't know where she got that idea. You took a bite of, what is that you were eating?
Fish, Mary.
Oh, okay. You took a bite of fish. Then a bite of green beans on Carolyn's line, that's right. On Laura's line, today I played two a cat with the boys. You put your fork down, and you wiped your mouth with your napkin on her line, and I won them too. Then you put it back on your lap. Such good manners you have, Missy.
Thank you.
Mary is totally in her element. She doesn't miss a beat. Here's where it gets tricky. On Missy, staring at her in horror, as if it already wasn't tricky. On Mary Yerke. On Laura's line about beating Johnny Johnson, you cut your fish, switched your fork back to your right hand, put your knife down, took a bite, and chewed all the way through Carolyn's next line about being ladylike and playing with the girls sometimes. Oh, and Missy, one more thing. You took a swallow of water on Charles' line. It's good. Wider angle on both of them. Mary looks up from her script and smiles. You got all that, Missy? It's a good thing you're such a smart girl. And if you need to rehearse, don't forget, I'm here to help. She gets up, moving away. Camera closes in onto Missy, a puddle of sweat, clearly in, way over her head. I somehow managed to memorize all of those directions just in time to shoot the closer angles of the scene. But that was the first and last time I would enjoy any meal in any scene on any set ever again. A lot of people like, well, I'll give you a choice. The story about Four Eyes, where Mary gets her glasses. Or there's also a kind of cute one. It was a lighter comedy episode called The Gift, where Laura and I have to sell medicine for Reverend Alden's Bible. So, and that was on today. So, what would you like? What would you rather have? Four Eyes? Okay. Okay. So this is after my problem has been diagnosed, self-diagnosed at home, and Pa and I go to Mankato, where the doctor, confirms that yes, I need glasses, and we're on our way back home. On our wagon ride home, I remark about how beautiful everything is, in such contrast from the trip to Mankato. I just love my glasses, I say. When we arrive back at the little house, Ma tells me just what I need to hear. My glasses are so attractive. Laura says I look smart, like Miss Beadle. Charles tells Carolyn that I can see twice as well with these glasses. Back to school I go, after all of the excitement of going to get the new glasses. The first thing Nellie and Willie do is tease me and call me Four Eyes. Nellie makes a point of saying that she would never wear the ugly things, to which Laura replies that Miss Beadle wears glasses and she's not ugly. Nellie retorts, she doesn't have a husband either, and Mary's going to be an old spinster just like Miss Beadle, because no one ever marries a Four Eyes. Little witch. I stand to answer a question written on the chalkboard now that I can see the writing on the board, and the kids call me Four Eyes. They are relentless, and those awful words from Nellie keep echoing in my mind. A spinster, just like Miss Beadle. Just like Miss Beadle. I asked Ma if she and Pa would have been ashamed if my schoolwork hadn't improved. Ma says, of course not, but you are a fine student, Mary, and you're going to make a fine teacher, just like Miss Beadle. Not the words I wanted to hear. In school the next day, I face even more teasing, and I crack. I just can't take anymore, and I run out of the schoolhouse in tears. I stumble upon an old hollow log, and succumbing to peer pressure, hide the glasses there. When we arrive home that afternoon, I am questioned as to why I'm not wearing my glasses. I lie to everyone and say that I lost them while playing at recess, I guess. I tell them that I took them off for fear of breaking them, put them in my pocket, and then, I don't know, they must have fallen out. Charles is obviously upset and says, it'll be harvest time before I can get another pair of glasses. The next morning I tell him if I don't find my glasses, he doesn't have to buy me another pair. I don't think I should be allowed to have another pair. Pa responds, lots of people wear glasses, Mary, even Miss Beadle. Not again. I cannot enter the annual history competitions because I have lost my glasses. Laura wishes I hadn't, so I could beat Nellie real good. I sit alone in the grass next to the schoolhouse when up drives a handsome stranger. He tells me I'm beautiful, hands me a flower, and calls me Blue Eyes. He's come to see Miss Beadle, and I tell him that she's inside. When I go inside the school, I accidentally interrupt them as they are kissing. Miss Beadle formally introduces us. He says he's her beau. The wheels are turning. Her beau? Girls with glasses do get the guys. I ask Miss Beadle if it's too late for me to take the history exam, and as she shakes her head no, I'm out of there. I run back to that old log, retrieve those glasses, and go on to win that history award. Laura is thrilled. I feel guilty. I explain to Pa what he pretty much already knew, and tell him how sorry I am that I lied. I break down and cry. He forgives me and says, names do hurt. I sniffle and say, they sure do. Pa then says that if I keep going this way, I'll be as good a teacher as Miss Beadle. I affirm, that's right, Pa, just like Miss Beadle. This episode proved to be important in the lives of many families. I received lots of letters telling me of similar situations kids had gone through and how they had identified with Mary and her struggle. Bill Sandiford did such a good job with this script, and he helped a lot of people to boot. Bill was super talented, quite funny, and very loquacious. He generously included me in a family getaway one weekend. Bill and his daughter Dawn picked me up early one Saturday